You're watching Around Town with Henry Dormann.
Around Town is sponsored by Chemung Canal Trust Company. They're really nice people. Trust is their middle name. Service is their motto. And I like them a lot, and that's why I bank there. If you ever come by to look me up, I'll be in the vault. Safe place. We're at a fitness gym. This fellow, you and I are not going to be friends. He is a fitness guy, and he not only does for himself, but he can do for you over the web. I knew nothing about this, and he made the mistake of coming in here looking better than me. Now, of course, underneath my suit, I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you're laughing. What is your name?
I'm Chris McGowan.
And what do you do?
I run online website, McGowanFitness.com, where I do nutrition and a variety of training programs for individuals. And I also train in-house here at Elmira Fitness Center.
He makes you look younger.
Very young.
See the muscles? And he hasn't even started yet. Now, how much is this cost? Is it expensive?
It depends. I have a variety of programs. I like to really cater to the individual. So I have a wide range of clients from fitness competitors all the way to stay-at-home mothers that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. So I like to cover all of the problems and making sure that it's easy for them to do. Like, I want to make sure that it's easy for them to do, and also very convenient for them as well.
And what do you teach? All kinds of exercises to build certain parts of the body?
I do.
And all on the web?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And in person, too?
And in person as well.
Is there hope for me?
There is help. Well, he already looks like Arnold, so I mean, there's not much I can do. He might be teaching me some few things.
Now, what does this cost?
It's
expensive.
It has a wide range. Usually, I'm around 55 per session in-house.
55 per session in-house. In here.
In here.
What about on the web?
On the web, it can range from about 50 to 150, depending on the goals and depending on the things that you are trying to accomplish.
What do most people want to accomplish besides living longer?
Fat loss is a huge one, and there's a lot of problems with fat loss that a lot of people incur. And some things, as far as being on medication, things like that, and actually getting the body up and functioning. I have a young lady that came to me actually not too long ago that was on a variety of medications, and what we did, we got her diet in check and we got her habits fixed, which most of the time nutrition is not the problem, it's the habits that we form over the time period. So we got her habits in check. Going to Dunkin' Donuts and having to get a donut with a coffee every time, things like that. Just having a sugar addiction can be a huge problem for a lot of people, or just simply following a plan may be too much, so just taking small steps into that plan, kicking sugar drinks like carbonated drinks like Pepsi and switching to Diet Pepsi, switching from whole milk to almond milk. These are like little tips that you can use and immediately start to see changes in the body.
Where did you learn all this?
A lot of school, a lot of studying.
Now, you have initials after your name. What do they stand for?
So I'm an IFBB professional, which is an International Federation of Bodybuilders.
That's what Schwarzenegger belongs to.
That's what Schwarzenegger belongs to. So I'm a professional bodybuilder.
I can't wait to join and see what's going to happen to me. And you work from home mostly or from here mostly?
I work from home mostly. I work with about 50 clients online, and I try to make sure that I'm catering to them individually. And the good thing about online is that I can just shoot them a text or shoot them an email and really stay in communication with them at all times of the day. So it's always important.
Now, if you have certain things like a bad back or a part of your body that really hurts because you strained a muscle or whatever, do you fix that, or is it a medical problem, or is it because you don't really exercise enough? Or both?
Most of the times, it could be because of a medical problem, but if you don't have a medical history of having issues like that, it could simply be because of your body adjusting to what you're naturally doing. So if you're always sitting down all day long, your body's going to adjust to that because your body's constantly wanting to adapt. Even with our nutrition and even with our day-to-day activities, our body wants to adapt to what we're doing. So what happens is that you can get lower back issues because the muscles become very shortened and your body becomes in this very sitting manner all day. So I have basically an hour.
Thanks a lot.
When you come to see me, I have an hour to fix that. I have an hour to change that in the body.
What is your favorite exercise of all of these?
Oh, there's so many good ones. There's so many good ones. I would say really building the upper back. I love band work, working on the upper back, because I feel like that's such a missed problem for a lot of people, and it takes care of a lot of problems in the body.
Why did you shave your head?
Oh, I'm going bald. I'm losing it all.
Don't admit it.
I think it's more kind of have to shave my head, or I have this little vision spot right in the
It's a
middle.
lot easier than just doing haircuts all the time.
It is true. I can cut my own hair, which is a plus.
Yeah. You save a fortune.
I do save a fortune.
If you contact him, where can you, what's the web number?
It's McGowanFitness.com, McGowan Fitness.com. You can get a hold of me on a variety of social media platforms, Facebook, McGowan Fitness. I'm on Instagram at McGowan Fitness. It's all pretty much the same tagline.
And phone number?
Phone number is 607-425-3928.
If you have any questions, give him a call. This place is kind of fascinating for me because I have this terrible disease. I hate exercise. Now, if a lot of people who tuned in hate exercise too, what do they do to train themselves to actually do what they should do? How do you convince a person?
Well, it's funny that you asked that, Henry. I've actually had a lady, Karen, came into me, and she completely hated exercising. And one of the things is, for a lot of women, just getting into the door can be a huge issue, especially because this can be very intimidating back here. So what I like to do is I like to make it fun. I like to make it very simple, and I like to incorporate some of the things that they do enjoy doing into the workout program. So if for an example, if they love to squat and they've squatted in other programs, I want to make sure
I don't
that
even know what a squat is.
Squat is where you just it's like kind of like picking up something. Okay. We're going to get you squatting here soon. You're going to be ready to go.
Go ahead, continue. I'm listening carefully.
So we want to make sure that we're incorporating things that they actually like to do into the program, and we're getting them accustomed to coming to the gym and working out back here in the back. Because once that sense of security is there, everything else is going to fall in line.
Is it true that you have to drink a lot of water to be healthy?
Very true, very true. You at least want to try to get at least
not only when you exercise.
Not only when you exercise, every single day.
Every single day, how much?
At least half your body weight in ounces of water is ideal.
Half my body weight. How much? Well, you're talking about tons here. What do you mean?
So
one container, a quart, or?
So I like to aim for a gallon at my body weight. So what you want to do is you take your body weight and you just divide that by half, and you want to try to hit that many ounces. Now, I like to make sure that my clients are shooting above that, because the simple fact that if you tell somebody to get half their body weight in ounces, 9 times out of 10 they're not going to even reach that far. So we want to make sure that we're trying to strive as drinking as much water as possible.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't know if you'll ever see me again, or if you do see me again, then I'll look like he does. And in the meantime, I never want to see you again until I'm ready. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good teacher. Give him a call. He has a lot of information. And he can make you look like either him or me. Take your choice.
Around Town with Henry Dormann will return in a moment.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Now getting rewards is faster than ever. Open a Chemung Canal Trust Company checking account with our debit card, and you can join our You Choose Rewards program. Simply use your debit card to buy groceries, gas, or just pay bills. You could earn 5,000 You Choose rewards points and a fast $50 when you qualify. Open a checking account and watch your points add up fast. For details on how to qualify, visit ChemunCanal.com. Chemung Canal Trust Company, member FDIC.
We now return to Around Town with Henry Dormann.
New things are happening at the Wings of Eagles. I got so excited I got the thing wrong. But you've got to come to see this. Not only are the planes here, but they have a new thing, a sphere that is kind of magical. And the fellow who's going to tell us all about it is General Mike Hall, who is, I'm kind of scared being with him because he's a general, retired. But he's the guy who created this whole thing. And you have to tell him where it is and how can they phone on. You see, I'm gibbering already. I'm not used to sitting next to a general. But he can tell you everything about this place and when you can come and where it is and how they can call up to get further information. So now I'm through and leaving the rest to you.
Okay, well thank you, Henry.
Sir.
The Wings of Eagles Discovery Center is located just off the airport, across from the airport campus of Corning Community College. It's by exit 50 off Route 86. And pretty easy to find us because we've got some big airplanes outside and they stand out as you approach the facility. Many of you would know us from our heritage, which was that of an aviation museum. But a few years ago we became very concerned about the fact that globally our country ranks somewhere near 50th in terms of science education or STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and math. The kind of education that teaches problem solving and critical thinking skills. So we decided that a good use of our collection was not just to teach about the past, but to also provide a pathway for those lessons to be applied to the challenges that we're facing in the future. So there's a big educational component at the Wings of Eagles Discovery Center these days. And it was a natural extension of that when we had the opportunity to acquire Science on a Sphere, which you see behind me, that we do so. Science on a Sphere is a spherical projection screen, so it looks like a heavenly body when you look at it. As you can see right now, the Earth as you're seeing it is about what you would see if you were maybe halfway between the moon and Earth looking back at Earth. What's terrific about this program is that the government has created a couple of thousand programs, and some private sector firms as well, that can be projected using computer graphics onto the spherical screen. So it can be Earth, it can be the moon, it can be Mars. You can see tectonic plate shift as the Earth changed its conformation over time. And you can see the effect of a tsunami spread around the world. It's really quite magical. And what it does is it helps bring into perspective, I think, the fact that we are riding through space on spaceship Earth, and a lot of things happen here at a grand scale that you can't appreciate as you stand outside and look at the hills. You've got to look at the Earth as the astronauts did when they went to the moon and looked back.
And these are now open to schools.
And they're open to schools, yes.
And individuals too?
And individuals. We maintain museum hours here at Wings of Eagles, and this is one of the many displays. The aircraft are also on display. But increasingly, we have young people from throughout the community involved in what we would call informal STEM education. Formal STEM education takes place in the school, but as we know, for reasons of resource and contracts and what have you, school is limited to a school day. And a school day alone may not provide the right set of circumstances for a young person to become inspired and interested in science, technology, engineering, and math, particularly because a lot of school curriculum does not involve hands-on learning. So we're dedicated here to what we call project-based learning, or allowing young people to fiddle and play with things and learn in the process.
Can they actually go and sit in cockpits of the planes?
We have that opportunity on a supervised basis.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the cockpits are up in the air, and there's some things that weren't designed for the public inside those cockpits, but we do have occasionally the opportunity for people to
Nobody
sit
ever
in
got in the
cockpits.
cockpit and flew out the door?
Nobody ever got in the cockpit and flew out the door. None of these aircraft are in flyable status anymore, but it does give you an opportunity to look at a shape and an engine and a cockpit and think, wow, I could fly this, and how exciting that might be. And then what we want to do is take that excitement and say, well, if you want to do that sort of thing, you've got to study hard, get good grades, you've got to be drug-free, you need to be healthy in your approach to life. And if you do all those things, you too could be part of this.
How many planes are there? And what's your favorite?
Well, my favorite is the A-10, and it's one of about 36 aircraft we have in the collection. The A-10 is a kind of a throwback airplane. It was built in the 70s when we had built a lot of fast airplanes that didn't maneuver well and therefore couldn't provide good close air support for troops. Mm-hmm. And I flew that airplane more than any other. And the one that we have here actually is the first airplane. It's the survivor of the Paris Air Show, where they had an accident with an A-10, and it came back to upstate New York after the Paris Air Show, and it stayed. And now it's here permanently in our museum.
Is there anything that everybody should know about contacting you to set appointments or anything?
I think
website, etc.
Well, it's wingsofelagles.com, and we have a very strong social media presence. Our Director of Communications, Stacy Brown, is terrific. So once you get on the website, you can establish all the social media feeds and what have you that you might like to have to know what's going on here and how you can take part.
It must be nice to be a general.
I don't think much about it at this point, Harry. That was a long time ago. I was honored to have a career in the Air Force that gave me plenty of challenges, and I worked with a lot of really terrific people, and that's the basis of any success I had in my life, was what they did.
Well, I was going to say you led out with a line I wanted to repeat, because the minute you said these things about heavenly bodies, I thought about my wife.
You did?
Yes.
That's good.
I wanted to give a plug there in case she's listening.
Make sure
this
she
is very important.
Make sure she watches the show.
That's
now.
what is very important.
That's right.
Well, how did you get the idea to create all of this?
Well, I didn't create it. It came here as the National Warplane Museum from Geneseo, New York. And at that point, the focus of the museum was flying the old airplanes. And there's some people that saw the air shows in days of yore that, that had an opportunity to see a World War II vintage airplane fly, which is quite remarkable. But over time, the ability to safely operate those aircraft and to affordably operate those aircraft became very difficult. As you can imagine, aircraft that were built 60, 70 years ago have some real maintenance requirements, and it costs a lot of money, and the business model just didn't work. So we had to get out of the flying business. And then in the community, of course, we had an opportunity for Sikorsky Aircraft to come to town. And we left our old facility to them, coming over here to this new facility, which suits our non-flying mission.
It's a wonderful accomplishment. Is there hours that you said museum hours?
We're open from 11 to 3 on a daily basis, and that includes Saturdays. But I think the thing, because the schedule changes some over the years, the thing to do would be to check the website and make sure that you know when we're open.
You have a group of students now already.
We have a group of students here today from Horseheads. They come every year. They're doing a space mission. We have an area, a classroom called Mission Control. Our terrific staff got some surplus air traffic control cabinetry from the FAA and made a room that looks much like a room you would see at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. And what happens is these classes come here and they are presented with a problem, actually from a controller that's out in West Virginia. So it's all done over the internet, and they have to solve that problem, and it's pretty exciting.
You're a fascinating fellow.
Well, thank you.
I want to thank you. Come by, look him up. You never know. You find out all kinds of fascinating things. We're going to go and take a look at the students now. They're probably going to graduate any minute. I'm going up in the cockpit, right?
Sure thing.
You heard it here. I get to do the strangest things, and it's all a lot of fun. Tune in. Come and see him. Give them a call. Right, you're there all the time. Almost.
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 Around Town with Henry Dormann will return in a moment.
up, y'all. Let's go.
It's a big world, and now we're loving this town. It's our turn, so put your hands up. We on the big screen, and everybody's here living out our dreams. Dreams, whoa. Yeah, yeah. Don't be scared, take a chance. Come on, give me a hand. It's time to laugh, time to smile. Now let's get up and dance. Come on, everybody, let's live it up. Let it out if you can't get enough. This right here gon' make you jump, jump, jump. This is home. This is the place. We break it out, sing it loud, scream and shout. This is home. Hey, yeah. This is home.
Okay, so we drowned the fire.
Yep.
Stirred it. Drowned it again. And now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
This is home.
We now return to Around Town with Henry Dormann.
I've got my glasses on because I never knew that moonshine, remember this from the movies? Moonshine is still being made. I thought it was one of those secret things they made in a cave and sold illegally. But evidently, it's a good business. And there are two people here, Matthew and Donna Bowers. I had to read this because they are entrepreneurs of the real spirit of 4 Flights Distilling.
Fights.
Huh?
Fights.
4 Fights.
Yes.
4 Fights. I read it wrong. How about that? Why did you call it 4 Fights? Are you fighting all the time? Yeah, they're looking at each other here.
It's the old moonshiner's gauge of strength, 4 fights being the strongest.
Really?
The most purest.
And is moonshine what I think it is, which is kind of the secret illegal thing you make? It used to be in the days of what?
Well, moonshine is any liquor that has been made without paying taxes on it. So anything made outside of a licensed distillery.
Is the Internal Revenue watching this?
We are fully legal and licensed.
So moonshine is something you make here, right here?
Our moonshine is an unaged corn whiskey.
That's an easy thing to say, but nobody knows what that means.
It's basically the same thing as a bourbon or a Jack Daniels without being aged on oak barrels.
And you right, where are you in Corning?
We are right in downtown Corning, Market Street Extension.
What's the address?
363 East Market Street.
Because if people want to come and get a glass of moonshine, they can come in and get a taste and buy lots. But you have other things too, like Imperial Moonshine, Crystal City Vodka, Imperial Cinnamon. Who comes up with this?
It's a joint effort between us and friends and everything.
Because they've got somebody is writing this. Listen to this now. This is Imperial Cinnamon. This complexity brings a sweet and savory tone to an already comforting spirit, smooth on its own, with a lingering bite. Where do you come up with this? I mean, this is real advertising writing.
It is.
You are having a lot of fun.
We have a talented group of people who work with us.
How many are you?
It's just the two of us right now.
Well, it's the two of us, but we have a couple of marketing.
So you are the talented duo.
Mostly.
And you have to take your children to school in the morning.
We do.
Yes.
How many do you have?
3.
Are they drinking any of this yet?
No, not yet.
No, they're not.
Not yet? Not yet? And you work at Corning separately?
Yes.
How did you get the funds to put all of this together? Because you're starting a real distillery.
Yes.
And from the ground up, in this very nice building, you're going to get. What's the phone number, by the way?
It's unlisted. We don't have a landline yet.
Yeah. So if they want to contact you, do they
Website,
go on the web?
Email.
What's the web and email?
It's info@fourfightsdistilling.com.
or forfightsdistilling.com. There's a contact page, or Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
You are very serious and she's very smiling. Which is the boss in the family? Isn't she nice?
Yeah.
He's shaking his head.
I like him to believe that.
Yeah, that's what my wife says too. Are you here every day?
Yes, I am here every day.
From what to when?
Usually about 8:30, and then it depends. If we're distilling or if we're mashing, I'll pick the kids from school, bring them back here, and we'll do whatever we need to do. Often they'll help clean and whatever.
How old are they?
14, 11, and 5.
Really? 14? You don't look old enough to have a 14-year-old.
Thank you.
We have a lot of, now we're gonna spend this, after we've finished filming, we're gonna be drinking this moonshine. But these are the bottles. These are the 3 brands.
They are.
Who came up with the label?
Again, it was a joint effort between all of us.
And I have a question too, because I don't understand some of these things, because, for instance, Imperial Moonshine, best enjoyed any way you want to serve it, 50% alcohol volume, 100% proof. What does that mean, alcohol volume and 100% proof? I always thought 100% proof was 100% whiskey or something.
The proof scale goes up to 200, which would be 100%.
And nobody makes
ABV.
that.
It's absolute alcohol. They use it in chemical testing or laboratories. It's not for beverage purposes. It wouldn't be palatable.
Burn up our insides.
Yeah, very quickly.
Is there anything else about moonshine that you know that are secret things that nobody's heard of? Like, do you come here at midnight and do these things and only tell the government you're making half?
No, we can't keep secrets from the government. We have to register everything.
Everything's registered.
Is that
all
a,
of our
is a lot of red tape?
There is a lot.
But
a lot of taxes.
A lot of taxes? State, city. Does Corning have a tax too?
No, not that we've found out.
Because this is such a great city to work in.
Yeah.
It is, actually. The community has been wonderful. All the local officials have been fantastic with helping us get started, and we've been very fortunate.
In this business, you must have a lot of stories to tell. Things that you've gone through trying to start a business that have been horrible and funny.
There are a few. There's a few for sure.
Most of it's been in process development, with working with new equipment and bringing in new processes and trying to get everything started and up and going. We've had quite a few little errors along the way that result in some comical mishaps.
Like what?
We flooded the tanks a few times and ended up with corn mash all over the ground. And my dad dropped a wrench into the moving mash tun with the blades spinning.
Our very first mash.
And we tripped breakers numerous times and overloaded circuits and all sorts of fun stuff.
Do you make everything in the back here?
We do.
So the vats are back here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is this a big place?
It's approximately 3,000 square foot.
Gee, so you've got a lot of stuff in vats.
Yes.
Do you constantly keep making things?
Mm-hmm.
And you're sold everywhere around here. Are you going to expand nationally? There are a lot of state laws, though, aren't there?
There is.
There are. You have to comply with each state's laws for importing, but we're typically looking to just supply through upstate New York and then move towards the city area.
This is an expensive operation.
Sometimes.
Indeed.
Sometimes. I have a loaded question. Are you bald? There you go. I'm always asking people who are wearing hats whether they're bald or not. These are two of the nicest people. I mean, how often do you meet somebody who's making moonshine? Come by here and visit with them, because they're really nice people, and give them a start. They're going to have a fantastic success. I think so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Is this for sale now?
It is.
We can buy a few bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
We'll see you soon.
You're watching WENY HD.